Every artist has to find a balance between creating and practicing their craft. They need to first and foremost gain the understanding and the skills required to develop art in their field, and then they can start to apply those skills and create some ideas of their own. Even skilled artists can benefit from honing in on their craft. Cardistry is no different. What's going on, everyone? It's Dom again. Today I want to talk to you about the balance between creating and then practicing your cardistry moves. I want to start by noting that every cardist creates differently. Some people like to work on an idea for months or even a year until they have it completely mastered, and some people like to move on right after creating something new. Most cardists lie somewhere in the middle, where they create a collection of new moves, practice them, and then showcase them in a performance video, which is essentially a way that people can share their new ideas. This is completely up to the creator, as everyone expects something different out of the creative process. Some cardists want to be recognized online by posting new moves frequently. Some just want to enjoy the process of creating and exploring everything cardistry has to offer, and some want both. As it relates to specific cardists, let's compare somebody like Darren Yao to Matt Samuel. They're both excellent cardists, though they often choose a completely different way to showcase their content. Darren has been known for working on only a few moves at a time, but when he releases these ideas in a video, you know it's going to be one of the most impressive performances you've ever seen. Just take a look at his move, Water Wheel. It's one of those ideas you sit there and you think to yourself, wow, I wish I came up with that. Matt, on the other hand, created an Instagram account called Cut a Day, where he posted a new move every single day for 100 days straight. Going into the challenge, Matt knew he wasn't going to be spending his time practicing to get perfect performances. He would instead be almost entirely focused on creating. It allowed him to push his ideas and come up with really interesting mechanics, but it limited him in the sense that he couldn't perform the moves at the same level Darren did, simply due to time constraints, at least in his cut-a-day experiment. However, this demonstrates Matt's creative ability in the fact that he was even able to complete a challenge like this. 100 cuts in 100 days is just mind-boggling to me. When it comes to Matt's main account, he posts ideas that are fully fleshed out and practiced. This is an example of how sometimes cardists will shift their focus and spend more time creating instead of practicing. And personally, I find I have to spend much more of my time practicing my moves than creating them. Even though I love creating, I often unintentionally torture myself and create concepts that are annoyingly difficult. The payoff for performing those moves is great, but it hinders my ability to be consistent about uploading new material. Going back to the example with Matt and Darren, these are both solid ways to create new cardistry, though they both have their perks and setbacks. Creating and then practicing one move at a time will give you a really good sense of what it's like to truly master the skill. On the other hand, it could limit the variety and quality of content that you create. For somebody like Darren, he might not move on until he has completely perfected an idea, which could also limit the quantity of ideas he's able to create. At least that's how I see it on the outside. For all I know, he could have a whole stash of crazy ideas that he's about to release. Now, consistently creating moves with minimal practice will allow people to explore all the different styles of cardistry. Someone could create a two-handed cut and then quickly move on to create an isolation, which are often two very different types of cardistry. With Matt's challenge, it allowed him to explore the breadth of cardistry without going too deep into one specific category or style. At the same time, this limited his ability to showcase the moves in the most eloquent way because he was posting a new idea every single day. And that's the case for anybody trying to rapidly release content. It is a fun experiment though, and I can definitely see how it would push creative thinking to the next level. You can also have a healthy mix of both creativity and practice. One day you might be in the mood to work on creating a move you've been stuck on for a while. Another day you might want to just sit down and practice your newly created move because it's the most complicated thing you've ever created. It's all about finding that balance that works best for you. Essentially, all it comes down to is figuring out what you want out of cardistry. Do you want to push your raw cardistry skills and practice every new move until it's completely mastered? Or would you rather flex your creative muscles and focus on creating as many new moves as possible? Or are you somewhere in the middle, like me? Another consideration is how, when, and where to share your cardistry moves online. I touched on it mostly being a personal preference, but it's a large topic on its own, so we'll cover it more in a future video. Let us know in the comments below if that's something you'd like to see, and if there are any other topics you'd like us to dive into. And for more tips on practicing cardistry, check out this video. That's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.